So the rest of the morning, just keep this to come order. Okay. Thanks. Hey, jump in. All right, so this is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker. I'm your judge, and this is the bonded trials biannual calendar call. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you wish for somebody to care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Okay, please don't go off during court. Our goal is to move this calendar forward promptly, return you all back to your lives as soon as we can. I cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, you're going to find quickly that I have no patience for it. Nobody's virtual. All right, everybody take a moment, grab your cell phones, and turn them off. So go ahead and pull them out of your pockets, wherever you got them. Hit that power button for 2.5 seconds, and shut your phones off. We're about to move a lot, and I can't do it if your phones are pinging, dinging, chirping, and doing whatever phones do. All right, so this is the correct courtroom for you. If you're arrested on a misdemeanor here in Spalding County, you appear to waive your arraignment date, then you appeared again at calendar call in week 1. You or your attorney are requesting the trial. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, step out in the hallway. There's court everywhere today. The bailiffs will get you to the right courtroom. This is what we call your final calendar call. I'm going to go over your rights with you, tell you what your options are. Then you or your attorney is going to give me final confirmation of what to do with your case. Each of you appeared at calendar call and have already selected a trial, a bench, or a jury. But as you'll remember, there are 2 types of trials. There's a jury trial. That's where 6 jurors issue a verdict from that box over there to your left. And then there's a bench trial, and that's where I issue the verdict without a jury. At this final calendar call, you'll be given the opportunity to conference with the solicitor's office if they're willing. They're under no obligation to speak with you. You may ask me about an attorney, and we can talk about that. You can enter what's called a non-negotiated plea. We also call this a blind plea, which is a plea without a conference or a recommendation. So for many of you, you've never heard the term non-negotiated plea before, so let's unpack that just a little bit. A non-negotiated plea is where you are not happy, you're unsatisfied with the recommendation you received from the state, but you don't want to go to trial. And so you're in that middle ground between those 2 points. If that is you, you can choose to enter what's called a non-negotiated plea, also called a blind plea, where you admit guilt, and then I make a decision on my own of what sentence to apply or to apply to your case without a recommendation or agreement. And whatever decision I make is final. All right. Now, if you asked for a jury trial last in week 1, and now you want a bench trial, that is perfectly fine. You just tell me that you want to move it from a jury trial to a bench trial when your name is called. I have no preference, but that is an option. But I will say, if you chose a bench trial, we're not upgrading it today to a jury trial. All right, so Ms. Karen is here. Actually, we have Judge Essery here as well from our Veterans and Mental Health Court. So if you are a member of our military veteran, or you have a mental health diagnosis, and if you want your case dismissed, then if you're representing yourself, then speak with Ms. Karen, or ask for a conference and talk to the solicitor's office and see if you are a candidate for our accountability court. If you are represented by an attorney, simply speak with your attorney about the process. They are very familiar with it and can answer any questions you have about it. So that's an option. All right, everybody, here's charges of misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. A few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, each of you here have the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County, again, sit over there and decide guilt or innocence on your charges. You can also choose a bench trial. Again, that's where I make the decision. The court makes the decision with no jury present. You may waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea if you so choose. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. You have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to cross-examine the state's witnesses, subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify, to not incriminate yourself, and if you remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you did not apply in week 1 for the public defender's office or have that discussion with me, then you very likely waive that right altogether, but we can certainly discuss it. All right, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system. We explain what the charges are and what the defenses are to those charges. File motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, it is my responsibility to explain first offender and conditional discharge. What you need to know about those is they each let you enter a guilty plea without being convicted, but you only get one of each for your entire life. First offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs, and conditional discharges for drug-related offenses only. All right, NOLO contendere and traffic charges. We call this a NOLO plea for short. It's where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt on traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one NOLO every 5 years. That's measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. A NOLO will usually prevent points. It'll usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. Anybody here under 21? Okay. All right. If you are here today and you are not a U.S. citizen, you need to know that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right. Several of you are charged with family violence. It's in the title of your charge. If you're convicted of that family violence, you will lose any Georgia weapons carry permit you may have, and federal law steps in and says you may never again possess a firearm or ammunition. All right. It's my job to explain this weird old law called habeas corpus. We call it habeas for short. If you're convicted, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window to use your habeas rights. Everything else in this courtroom has a 12-month window. All right. You may ask for a conference with the solicitor's office. Out of respect for our jurors who are coming in very shortly, you may ask for a conference. Now, the solicitor's office is under no obligation to speak with you if they don't wish to. They represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement, you can resolve your case. If you do not reach an agreement, then you must wait in this courtroom for me to give you further instructions. Some of you may enter police today and you may receive probation. If so, you'll be supervised by Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. There'll be a $25 intake fee. 100% of all fines can be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. There's a $50 per month supervision fee, which is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right, so here's how this is going to go this week. All the bench trials and jury trials are together on the trial calendar. Your calendar call was in week 1, it was 2 weeks ago. This is week 2 with jury trials and bench trials. Now, everybody must appear in person each day until your case is resolved, and that is for you to watch the other trials and learn how the procedure works. We're going to be running 2 courtrooms. So I'm here in courtroom A. Judge Essery and the second team will be down in courtroom B on the first floor, just outside the lobby, and they will be running jury trials down in that courtroom. We will reach all cases for trial. All right. Do you want to help your friends and family? Because the warrants will be issued for the defendants who fail to appear in court. If you know somebody who's absent, call them, tell them to get down here. You will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. Now, you are required to tell me if you had any speedy trial demands, pretrial motions, or anything else to let me know so that I can factor that into the trying of your case. If you did not notify me of these matters or if the bench warrant was issued, then those were waived. All right, so I'm about to call the calendar. When you hear your name called, stand up. You're represented by an attorney. Remain silent and let them announce for you. If you do not have an attorney, then you're going to announce loudly. You're going to confirm that you had a jury trial or bench trial for a conference, an attorney, and any motions. Here, grab something off my desk. All right, Mr. Shepherd, ready?
Yes. I think just a couple walkthroughs to address.
Okay. Mr. Malloy, you ready?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let's jump in. All right, everybody's got the final calendar. Thank you, Erica, for doing that. All right, Sonia, is it Balakurba?
Judge, that's Mr. Dutton's case.
Okay.
He has a conflict this morning in Superior Court. He will be down shortly. He said he had to enter a plea this morning.
I just seen him get on the elevator.
I think maybe Coker. Is that right?
Not Coker, see.
Well, one of the Superior Court judges.
Miller is on the third and Sam's is on the fourth, so it's Sam's.
All right, so I'm just gonna call it a conference then.
This one's going to be continued, Judge.
Okay,
A consent from both sides.
got it. Okay, I'm marking out my list of things to worry about. All right, over to you, Mr. Malloy, Christopher Barkley.
I guess conference room is present.
I can go ahead and dispose of it.
Okay.
First, pretty much this first page we'll dispose of, I believe. All right, this is the state. Can I sound, Judge?
Yes, oh, yes.
This is the state versus Christopher Barkley. Is Cheryl Parker present in the courtroom? Cheryl Parker. Judge, Ms. Parker is the named victim in this case. We've tried to reach her on multiple occasions and have been unable to do so. She is necessary for the prosecution of this case, and without her testimony, we'll be unable to proceed.
All right. Is that a motion?
Yes, Your Honor, I ask for the case to be dismissed.
Okay. All right, I'm printing that form right now. And I'm okay with that.
Actually, Judge, if you print, well, we can put it.
What's that?
Never mind.
Mr. Malloy, you can release your client.
Mr. Walker, sit tight. I have something.
Okay. John Cavender. Cavender?
Here.
Was Mr. Cavender on time, or was he just walking in right now?
I just walked here and I walked all the way from the north side of the grill.
Okay, could we have a seat in the jury box? All right, show Ms. Pinstraw.
Yes.
You need anything on that one for it?
We'll address it in a few minutes.
Okay, thank you. Wayman Colbert.
Yeah.
Mr. Colbert, I show you as a jury trial, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Shepherd, you're standing, you have now.
Yes, Judge, we'll just go ahead and get this one out of the way too. All right, this is the state versus Wayman Colbert. Is Winifred McCarnes in the courtroom? Winifred McCarnes. Judge, she's a named victim in this family violence case. We've tried to reach her on several occasions since this case came into my office. We've been unable to contact Ms. McCarnes. She is a necessary and proper witness, and without her, we'll be unable to proceed with the prosecution of this case.
Okay. Having called the case, having the state announced that essential witnesses are unavailable.
We can prepare one if you need to.
I got it right here.
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Colbert, go wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs. Don't leave until they come talk to you. Burnett, Elliott, is yours, Mr. Walker?
Call John. I think this one's the same one too.
Okay, all right, you're good.
Yeah, first few here.
Yeah, you said first page, had a lot of activity.
Yep. Front of the alphabet got lucky today. All right, this is the state versus Burnett Elliott. Is Priscilla Elliott in the courtroom? Priscilla Elliott. Judge, as with those other two cases, Miss Priscilla Elliott is the named victim in this battery case. We've tried to reach her on numerous occasions. To get her here today, she has not responded to any phone calls, emails, written mail, or a subpoena. She's a necessary witness, and without her appearance and testimony, we'll be unable to proceed with the prosecution of this case.
Okay,
Defense moves for dismissal.
all right, having, called the case up to court, essential witnesses being unavailable, we dismiss the case for lack of prosecution. You're free to do what you need to do.
You can sit back.
I've signed orders on all those. Anything else on page 1? We'll come back to Mr. Gavin. All right, Jeffrey Gilbert is in the system, so I've already issued a warrant, no bond forfeiture. Everybody good on that?
Yes, sir.
All right, I have Grantland, I have PTI question mark. I think everybody's not against me. Okay. Grantland's not here, and I was pretty sure Grantland had entered the preacher off, but I did not mark my calendar properly, so. Okay, I'm marking that off. All right, Chantelia Howard? Howard?
I believe that was already a warrant
Yes,
from the 8th.
that is correct. All right, also Mr. Dutton's client, Andrew Jackson.
So Judge, Andrew Jackson and the other one is Sandy Jackson.
Okay.
Those are to be pleased this morning.
Okay.
Mr. Dutton said he would have his clients appear when he was released from upstairs.
Okay, this all sounds very reasonable. All right, then that brings me to Jarvis Jackson. I show that as Jukes and a warrant.
That's what I have also.
Is Jarvis Jackson present? No? Okay, it's still Jukes and a warrant. Sandy Jackson's a plea this morning. I show that Ethan J. was also Dutton and also entered a pre-trial, but I wasn't certain.
That's what I had to.
Okay. And I'm marking that off my list. All right, I show Zatori and Jester as Jukes and a warrant. Is Zatori and Jester present? Zatori and Jester? No? Okay. It is what it is.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, yes. On all 3 of those. Which brings us to page 5. Remember, I changed to catch up. Mr. Jester had a lot going on. All right, that brings me to John Tavius Maddox. Maddox, that's already Malloy, sorry, Jukes and a warrant.
It was, yes.
Okay. And then that brings me to Crystal Martin.
Yo,
She's here.
She's present.
yes, there was a video of Walmart, did Mr. Shepherd, did you request it from Walmart?
All right, I'm gonna put that down for a conference. All right, I showed Jonathan Martin, it's a reset, but Judge Essery, that's a reset to come to y'all. So, so that way y'all have an eye on that. Susan's gonna send that one to y'all.
Yeah, that's the one that's trying to get in accountability court.
All right, and then that brings us to Keisha Middleton. Keisha Middleton, it's already Jukes and a warrant.
Yes.
That's what I showed. All right, I've announced conference, it's all yours. So, all right, Yakari Shannon, that's also a warrant, also not here. Frederick Stubbs. Here. All right, Mr. Stubbs, come on up. Mr. Stubbs, I was looking for you at counter call. I don't show that I found you. Did I miss you or where were you?
I'm not sure. I know I've been here one time.
Okay. All right, what do you want to do with your case?
I'll have a conference with the solicitor.
Okay, I'm gonna let you have the conference, but until I can take a look at your warrant and determine what's going on with it, I'm gonna have you in the jury box. And, don't, come on up this way. Don't panic, Piper's gonna put handcuffs on you, it's just standard operating procedure, but we will look at you this morning. Okay. And Piper, he needs cuffs too. The other guy. All right. I show the next case as Carla Tompkins.
Conference room.
Okay. All right, conference warrant. Chris Tran? Tran? No?
That was already a warrant.
That's already a warrant. Demond Trice? Demond Trice? Okay, okay.
Conference room. Yeah, that's a trial, Judge. We got witnesses coming for that one.
Okay. Is that the same individual, both cases?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
I need to merge those. I only have 50,000 merges left.
Almost there.
Almost there. All right, Bo, we need to talk about that this morning, get a plan, Judge Essery. But I think we've got some pre-trial matters we need to address. So let's just talk off record and then get a plan and go on there. All right, Carrie Watts is in jail. You're Carrie Watts? Okay,
So he was released, Judge. I spoke to Mr. Hazen on a Thursday or Friday last week. Can't remember the exact date.
okay.
But he has to be in. He's in Clayton County this morning at 8:30, and then he's headed down here as soon as he's done with it.
Okay. Well, the only reason I had issued the warrant was so we wouldn't lose him.
Yes.
Do y'all have any objection since he's here? Like, do you have a position on that? I don't remember.
It's negotiated, please.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and lift the warrant then. So-
yeah.
Okay, Mr. Watts, don't panic, but I issued a warrant for you when you were incarcerated in Butts County. But what I decided to do is since you're here, because the only goal of that warrant was just to get you here, and you brought yourself here, which means I don't need the warrant. So, good job. So I'm lifting your warrant. Just sit tight and wait for your attorney to get here, okay? Your attorney's been great about communicating with us, so. All right, put that down for comments. All right, Sabrina Williams. Sabrina Williams,
Your Honor, we request a bond forfeiture.
granted, release your witnesses, you are free to go.
Just can't get one.
She must be good at activating.
And all that.
All of that work. David Wright. David Wright.
That was already a bench warrant.
Yeah. All right, now, a couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. I'm sorry, Ms. Kennedy. So we had a conference on yours, but one of them was a reset, Mr. Dutton?
Yes, volunteer is
Yes.
recent, I believe, and
Yes,
we've spoken to say about that.
yes, and I've already granted that, so.
We would like a short conference, so in chambers about Jacksonville.
Yes. He told me that, y'all need to work some details out, so. Okay, we're great on that. You don't, is your client, is Dollar Curve here? It's okay if not, you're saying you could just sign, yeah, that's the one that's out of state, you can sign for that, so he just needs to sign. Okay, a couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. Are there any witnesses who are subpoenaed to be here today? Any witnesses? Okay, no witnesses. Is there anyone who, I know there's a couple of walk-ins, and there are a couple of names that I did not call. If you were a walk-in or I didn't call your name, stand up for me. I knew there were a couple. Okay, we're gonna just work our way across. What's your name? Nice and loud. Penn?
I have him, Judge. He was like
I think you were my volunteer. Weren't you supposed to be here last week?
Yeah,
That's it.
I was supposed to be.
Yeah, you disappeared, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
He's the 1%.
okay. Okay, so, that's okay, I'm gonna fill you in. So Mr. Penn, don't panic, we gotta just go through the steps, okay? So, but you were here last week.
No, I wasn't here last week.
Okay.
I wasn't. My father was here. We had the same name.
Oh,
Here we go.
it was your dad?
Yeah, it was my father.
What did you
but
have?
my father told me I had a warrant. I thought my date was the 18th, but it was the 16th or 17th. I took off work on the Friday. I think it was on.
Well, somebody answered for you. Are you Keith Sherrod Penn Jr.?
Yes.
I
had
called
called
your
it.
name in court on
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Somebody answered.
My father.
I don't know that your dad had alcohol stuff. I tell you what, let's do this.
It is a traffic violation. Right?
It is a traffic violation. I did issue a warrant.
Yeah, let's see.
So don't panic. What I'm gonna do, don't panic. I'm gonna put you in the jury box while we figure this out. You're not gonna be stuck there until we just gotta get you over there. So go grab a seat in the jury box. Piper's gonna put cuffs on you. Don't panic. Just go over there and let these gears turn. Because what you're saying almost sounds correct. So don't panic. All right, man, what's your name?
Christy Michael.
Michael?
We have her also, Judge.
Okay. You need anything from that?
We'll speak with her.
All right, grab a seat. What's your name?
Nicole Parker.
First, sir, what are you charged with?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's like the
I'll find it here. There it is. 22 SR 0980.
Yes, that's what, I got a little sticky note that says that on her. Make it simple to solve.
Okay, come on up.
Looks like.
I'll tell you what. I gotta take a look at your file. There's a confusing note in here with both a reset and a bench warrant. So don't panic, but I'm gonna have you go sit in the jury box. They are gonna put handcuffs on you, but we are gonna look at your case this morning. So nobody's gonna be hauled off to the jail. The goal is just to make everything stop and we figure out what's going on. So anyway, anybody else? Okay. Do we have anything that that Judge Esri could do this morning?